So the Indigenous Astronomy course was a course that we designed to really investigate the stories of the Indigenous people in Australia. What we were really trying to do with this course was to show how science is kind of embedded in these stories.
And what's amazing is we can actually tell that these stories have been transmitted for tens of thousands of years because they describe events that we as scientists can also date back.
Oral cultures can have a very strong history of science and really tried and true, trustworthy ways of being able to store knowledge over long amounts of time.
When I think of the skies and when we try and talk about them, it's better to compare them as though the sky is like a library and the stars are like our books.
So in the first workshop, there was a focus on oral traditions and interconnectedness. In the second workshop, we looked at longevity and memory. And in the final workshop, we looked at star maps and navigation.
Together with these star maps in the skies and those songs and stories, you're able to navigate across country very effectively.
The project that the students were asked to do really embodied what we were trying to teach them across the course of the 3 workshops, which was how we can use oral traditions and stories to encode scientific knowledge. And so we asked the students to try and find an oral tradition that they're familiar with or one that they can learn, which is able to tell us a bit about where they're coming from, some either scientific knowledge or some knowledge about a knowledge system in their life that they learnt through a story.
They had to use technology to record that story, and they were able to transform these oral traditions into something that would be able to be shared with people virtually.
This is the story about the origin of bilbil clay pots at the coast of Madang province.
This tale begins with Taiwan, a witch doctor who had 3 daughters, Meenie, Wimla and Gunadu. Whenever Taiwan had to pass by a hole to get food, he would leave his 3 daughters behind a rocky wall on a cliff.
In our society, it is a taboo or a belief that we should not touch or kill any animal or bird species that represents our clan.
Long time ago, it was a belief when a shooting star falls, if it has a longer tail, a male will die, and if it has a shorter tail, a female will die.
When the fruit ripes and falls into the rivers, it makes the river black. And when my ancestors come across and see the rivers black, they know that dry season is starting.
The dreaming story of Mount Coolum. This story for me is very important as I see this mountain a lot when driving around the coast, and it is nice to know the local Gubbi Gubbi story on how it was formed.
That was so amazing. The student submissions were incredible. And I think it really came from this idea that they were able to connect with their own communities and they were able to tell a story that resonated with them and they felt connected to.
We were able to see how many similarities there are for students in PNG and the stories that they've experienced and the stuff that they've learned from them with the stories that we were sharing in the Indigenous Astronomy course. So it was awesome because it was just this cultural exchange all around for us as the educators and also for the students as well.